Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Behind the Mic. It seems like we've been away for a long, long time, but it is a good weekend for Lafayette as they will take on Holy Cross. Both teams now are ranked in polls. Lafayette squeezed its way into the number 25 spot, and obviously Holy Cross at number 11, number 7. But, Mike, before we talk about the Crusaders, we've got to look back maybe a week and a half. I think we should talk about that Princeton win. What a great win that was.
Yeah, it was terrific. They played all four facets of the game. It was a low-scoring game. The wind, I think, played a factor. I was at the game. But Lafayette did what they had to do when they had to do it. They played excellent defense. If they could have converted a couple more fourth downs they had at midfield. But it was a struggle defensively. And I was impressed with that Princeton defense. And, again, offensively, they weren't as strong on their offensive line. We put pressure on the quarterback. We kept Sandstrom in the box a little bit. We really kind of shut down Volker. And I think that was the key to the game. But Lafayette did what they needed to do, and they didn't waste any possessions.
Yeah, a touchdown, a field goal, and a safety. You can't do much better than that. And that got them the 12-9 victory. But now we take on a Holy Cross team. Mike, they've won 20 consecutive Patriot League games. They've won 4 consecutive Patriot League championships. Obviously, if you're going to get to a title, you've got to go through them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chesney's done a phenomenal job up there. He's brought in great recruits. They all buy in. He's got a great quarterback, obviously. And between Fuller and Saluka, 2 of the top 3 rushers, along with Jamar Curtis in the league. So we're going to see the 3 top rushers in the league. He's put together an offense that is a juggernaut, and they're going to go against the number 1 scoring defense this week against Lafayette. So something's going to bend, not break. But this is a team that does everything well, and they're very good on special teams as well. The one thing that I think they may be a little bit less strong in is their defense gives up points. I mean, they do give up points, and if you look at the sack leaders in the league, Lafayette has 6 of the top 10 sack leaders. They have 1, and it's from the linebacker position. They don't have a defensive lineman that can get into the backfield really and make plays on the quarterback, and DeNoble's done a really good job. But this is a strong football team, and you have to play them up there. But Lafayette's the only team that's beaten them up there in a while, and their last Patriot League loss is that loss that we gave them up in 2019.
Yeah, can you imagine their last loss after 20 consecutive Patriot League wins? Their losses this year have been to 2 very good teams, Boston College, who they almost knocked off 31-28, and Harvard beat them by a 38-28 score, but they were in that ball game to the very, very end. When I look to analyze, like you do, a football game, you look at this one, it's kind of simplified, and I think you've already led into it. This is really about our defense and their offense.
Yeah, it is. It's going to come down to the 2 kind of clash of the Titans. And, I put it on Marco Olivas. I put it on Forney. I put it on Schaefer. And the reason being is this is a linebacker game. Dobbs is the best linebacker supposedly in the league. But if I'm Marco Olivas and I'm Forney and I'm Schaefer, I'm saying, listen, we're going to show you what we can do. And this is a personal battle back and forth. So this defense of ours is faster than it was last year, which is hard to believe. So we match up well every year with Holy Cross because of our speed defensively, and I think we're even quicker this year. If we can hold up in the secondary, keep Saluka in the booth, in the box or in the booth with me, but in the box, and not let him on those design runs get out and convert third downs, Lafayette's got an awesome chance.
Yeah, he's a great rusher. He's got 570 yards rushing the football, 4 touchdowns. He's the 2nd leading rusher in the Patriot League. And as you look at Matt Saluka, as far as throwing the ball, 92 for 139. He's number 2 in the Patriot League, 1,364 yards and 16 touchdowns. He can do it all, but I think we can do it all defensively. The key really might be that secondary of ours, and can they control their receivers? They've got Goins and Coker, one of the best in the league, Shorter, one of the best in the league.
Yeah, and Shorter made the big play last year against us on the 4th down and 16, and I think that sticks in Lafayette's craw a little bit. That's a game Lafayette should have won last year, and this is a huge stepping stone. This is where John Troxell wanted to get this team to a point where they're 5-1. They have an opportunity to get into the Patriot League mix right now. They got a chance to make a statement, and they can do it up in Worcester this weekend. So keeping Saluka in the booth, keeping Fuller under control, who's very strong. He'll wear you down in the 4th quarter. So I think Lafayette rotating those defensive linemen is going to be big. Can our linebackers come up big with big-time plays? And then what can our offense do? Is it going to be a shootout with our offense? Because, again, defensively, they don't get to the quarterback. So if we have time to throw and we can get the running game going, they're going to have troubles of their own.
Their numbers tell you why they win. They score 41.5 points a game. They give up 24.5 points per ball game. Last year, a block punt and a muffed punt.
Yep.
Really cost us the ball game. We were ahead. We lost that ball game 24-21. Nobody came closer to beating Holy Cross last year in the Patriot League. Defensively, you've already mentioned Jacob Dock. 6 foot, 237-pound, fifth-year preseason Defensive Player of the Year. 87 tackles already this season, 8 tackles for a loss. He's an individual, and like you said, when you look at our numbers collectively with our 3 linebackers, there's nobody better than that triumvirate.
No, there isn't. And tackles for losses is a thing that we can get into the backfield and make plays. Dobbs does everything really well. Remember, he missed most of last year with an injury, so he's coming back. I worry more for him. He's 6-7 games in. Is he going to be able to hold up and continue to make those type of tackles, take that punishment? Because they don't give him a lot of help up front. Their secondary is very good. They're athletic. But again, if you look at this, Lafayette's the #1 scoring defense in the league. They are the #1 scoring offense in the red zone, and Lafayette in the red zone defensively. So something's got to give here. This is a clash like we talked about. These teams got to step up. Who's going to not turn it over? Okay, and in big games, if you look back at the Harvard Holy Cross game, Holy Cross turned it over a bunch of times. That's why they lost that football game. It would have been much closer. So who's going to turn it over? What's the weather going to be like up in Worcester? You never know. It's a tough place to play. It's going to be packed with people. But I tell you what, this is exactly where, like I said, Troxel and his staff want to be.
Obviously, on offense, Lafayette has played very well, at least well enough to win ball games. Dean DeNoble, he really manages the game very well. Jamar Curtis got a little bit of a break now with the week off. He should be at his very top. Do we run the ball more in this ball game, or do we throw it more?
I think you have to run the ball. I think Lafayette will slow the game down a little bit, try to keep the possessions out of Holy Cross's hands. And I think they'll work the football down the field. But we should be able to run the football. We got 2 weeks now to get healthy up front, get guys going. I think we're going to be able to run the football. And once we run the football, that opens up everything for DeNoble. I thought Mason Gilbert stepped up pretty big. Even though he dropped the ball early in the game against Princeton, he made the touchdown catch. He caught a couple other balls. Elijah Stewart's becoming a guy I think they have to work. I think Elijah Stewart's got to be a guy that we can go to, and then you can use Karasi over the top. But Elijah Stewart's phenomenal. And Dean DeNoble, just like you said, manages the game, but he makes more plays than manage the game. You know what I mean? He can keep things alive with his legs. I love the way he keeps his eyes up. He's done a great job. Just stay within yourself. Play the game the way you're supposed to. This is not one of the better defenses in the league, in the Patriot League. So we should be able to move the football. Don't turn it over. We're going to be right there at the end.
Biggest key in the game.
Right now, stop Saluka on the design runs, okay? We're going to talk about that a little bit on Inside the Huddle. It's the design runs. It's the empty sets where you know he's going to run the football. How do we spy him on drop-back pass? Do we rush 3? Do we keep Marco or Billy Schaefer in the middle? Can Billy Schaefer get home? Nobody's better than Billy Schaefer right now. Look at the sacks. Lafayette has 27 sacks on the year. Holy Cross has 10. Okay, and they don't have a D lineman in the top 10. So can we get to the quarterback? The whole key is third, and can we get off the field? And Lafayette is one of the best in the league on third down conversions defensively. So get off the field, give the ball back to your offense, control it. I don't think you'll see Lafayette going up-tempo, but switching it up, DeNoble can certainly do that.
I don't think we've seen a team in the league better than spying a quarterback than Lafayette has done this year, particularly because of those linebackers, and any one of the 3 of them can cause all kinds of havoc in that backfield. This is right now, without question, the game of the year. Lafayette is going to want to win this game. It's a 1 o'clock start. It will be at Fitton Field, natural grass turf in Worcester, Massachusetts. If you can't get to the game, you can certainly watch it on ESPN+. I'm already excited about this.
I'm so excited. It's incredible. Like I said, this is where you want to be. And then, you have these 2 weeks in a row. You got Holy Cross, then you got Georgetown. Both of those teams are undefeated in the league. And we've had our troubles with Georgetown. Let's get this one right now. 2 weeks to prepare, 2 weeks to self-scout. Let's see what John Troxel and his staff have come up with. They got to be so excited getting up to Worcester and getting an opportunity to be where they want to be, moving forward with this season. It's a big game.
That's Behind the Mic. Go Leopards.